don't have a job to find. And if I were tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home.
All right, folks, welcome. We're here tonight, Hometown Heroes. That's right, Flatline Racing Body Hometown Heroes. And we talked last week. This last season, you saw we only stuck with one track. But this season, we're actually flip-flopping a little bit. We're going to go from Eldor to Limaland. That's right, we're at the little bull ring here at Limaland tonight. 305 wing sprints. We got to kick it off here. Corey, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Joe, it should be good here around the quarter mile.
Absolutely. A little short ring here. Well, let's kick this thing up here with the Flatline Racing Bodies Heat Race number 1. You're looking for some good quality racing bodies from a former regional short track champ, Dan Chapman, from out in the Clarence, Iowa area. As we're going to look here at the grid right quick. Out front, we got Jeffrey Barker going to be out front. Joe Moose going to start in second. Jacob Moose going to start in third. Corey Schatzer there in fourth. John Rayner starting fifth. And Blake Chapman's going to round out the sixth place spot. So, not bad. We learned a lot with this new model on these 305s. They can slide them a little bit easier.
Yeah, and, you know, I learned a little bit about Limaland this week. The official late models are racing here. Not sure how that translates into a sprint car, but I'm sure it translates a little bit. should be a little bit bottom feedy, and then move up towards the middle lane. Here we go, green flag in the air.
No doubt, and these guys, man, are banking it up, boy. Already 3 wide, like you said. We'll start to see as this track, man, kind of fans out, gets slick. Remember, we learned a lot about how we used to see the rubber build up, but does not translate into this thing being slick. But it actually can get slick even though the rubber doesn't build up.
It dries the track up, and that's what makes the car handle as if it was a slick track. And then when it takes in rubber, it kind of grips up a little bit better than where it is dry. So you either want to hit the mud or you want to hit the rubber, and right now the mud is going away on the bottom around here.
Yeah, and they're hurting on that middle side to kind of push that cushion up to the top a little bit. You got Joe Moose out front, Jeffrey Barker there in second. Big battle happening for third. Blake Chapman, Schatzer and company. One around, Schatzer is. Can't hang on to it, but we got a battle for the lead.
White flag in the air. Can Joe Moose hang on to the race lead from Jeffrey Barker? Barker down the back stretch, down turn 3. Not going to have enough momentum. Give the win to Joe Moose, Jeff Barker, Jacob Moose, Blake Chapman, John Rayner, and Corey Schatzer, your top 6.
Awesome, man. I'll throw us over to heat race number 2. Guys, set up here real quick. Heat race number 2, Langdon Mechanical. Langdon Mechanical is second to none. Heat and Air Conditioning Company in the Hamilton area. And their promise to their customers is they'll have their 100% Langdon professionals there with them every step of the way. So definitely check those guys out as we look at the grid. Randy Shreves, the man out front. Colby Singer, hope I said that right, in second. Gavin Chad Hamsart in third. Dak Chapman there in fourth. Got Kurt Shatner there in fifth. And Dan McLaren going to start in the 6th place spot. I think that's what? A singer?
Passenger.
Passenger?
Uh-huh. I think.
Passenger.
I don't know. Passenger. That sounds more, I don't know.
If anybody out there knows in the chat, let us know.
What's he got on the wing there? He's got a bearded phantom skull looking thing.
Oh, yeah, man, look at that thing. Dirt gangster is what it says. He's a dirt gangster. About to come out here and rob this place.
Oh boy. Well, 6 laps here. Once again, heat race number 2 should go by pretty quick. 11 seconds a lap. And maybe a little jump start there for Cassinger. We'll see if he gets a penalty out of that or not. It doesn't look like it. So he'll stay out in the front.
Oh, the contact, some wheel banging in the back, man. Schatzer, man, paid the price for that. So does Zach Chapman. You got Chad Ham, Cherie's going to battle out for second. They're going to go side by side. That's the big battle happening here with these 305s right now. As we play Colby and Torino out front. The man holding on to it. Cherie's, Chad Ham, and they're battling it out for there for second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, absolutely good battle right now for the top 3 position. Remember, every spot on track is 3 spots forward. You move in the feature event later on. You have Dan McLaren now under pressure from Kurt Schatzer trying to move up that 3 spots up to 4th.
Yes, he is. They're going to go door to door there, or actually tire to tire, as the top 3 kind of goes a single file. Meanwhile, the battle's on for 4th place. And Dan McLaren, along with Schatzer, as the white flag's going to fly. Who's going to get it? 3rd place, or they're beating and banging out of the turn. Chad Ham's going to hang on. But Cassinger, this is how they say it. Colby out front going to win it. Put in heat race number 3. That's right. New sponsor out here. Top Notch Trucking. Top Notch Trucking. Doing all your hauling needs in the North Dakota area. They haul some hay bales to water and the service as well. Guessed it, Top Notch. That's right. To the grid right fast. We got Isaac Sellis going to be out front. DJ Boydell starting in second. Butch Baker starting third. Connor Ross in fourth. Stephen Bixler starting in the 5th place spot. Getting set here to go green.
Yeah, these 11-second lap times have been flying on by here in these 6-lap heat races. The feature later on, that's going to be 30 laps. It probably ain't. That ain't as bad. I mean, we run 20 at Eldora and then 30 at Lima Land. It's probably about on par with how long each race would take anyways.
Yeah, true.
Green
Race
flag,
car's
green
in.
flag.
Gonna pull this one off. Sellis gets to jump out front. Baker right there behind him. Boydell's trying to follow in line in third. He does. He pulls up in a second. Looks like the high lane's coming into play.
Yes, it is the high side right now in play. And with these 305s, I'd say that's because they can hold the momentum a whole lot more than if they were to dive it down low into the corners. Might see that change if the top side starts drying up and taking in rubber and somebody finds a little bit of grip down low.
Yeah, right now,
high
Sellis out front. You got Boydell there in second. Barker hanging on. Might just kind of be impatient, single file right now. And oh! Whoa, Connor Ross said I'm going to try to make a new way around the track. Ain't going to work.
And he loses the wing.
Oh, Lord. Hold up.
No.
Man. Check on these eye. Somebody call him at home. Meanwhile, Battle's heating up for second. Barker's, he's pulling on the back cush bar. Only going to have one lap to get it done there on Boydell.
Baker trying to get around Boydell. Remember, that's 3 spots further up in the feature. Maybe unless he could get drag race here, not going to happen. The race win will go to Isaac Salas, GJ Boydell, Butch Baker, Steven Bixler, and then Connor Ross.
Racing there. Racing. Heat race number 3. Brings us around to heat race 4 here. Christensen. Oh,
Warm up.
Well, folks, we'll be right back here in a few. Don't go anywhere.
For Lucy Olson, she has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olson, talented sophomore.
All right, folks, feature time. Here we go. Getting set. We're going to look at the grid here tonight. 'Cause that's right. We got catalytic recovery starting to line up here for the feature. Out front, you got Joe Moose going to be the man out front. Colby, I'll say Kassinger right now until I hear otherwise. Isaac Sella starting in third. Jeffrey Barker there in fourth. Randy Shreve starting fifth. GJ Boydell starting sixth. Jacob Moose starting seventh. We got Gavin Chatham in eighth. Butch Baker there in ninth. Blake Chapman starting in 10th. Kurt Shatner in 11th. Stephen Bixler starting 12th. John Rayner starting 13th. Dan McLaren 14th. Corey Schatzer, in 15th. Connor Ross 16th. And Zach Chapman rounds out the 17th place spot. So here we go. Good. And K-Singer is how you pronounce it. Okay. K-Singer, we just got it. We just got the pronunciation. I would have never have. I guess that is so the Y, so there is no Y, but yeah. K-A. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Oh, K-Singer. Okay.
K-Singer. That's what Brendan Lacey out there is telling me. Appreciate it, Brendan. Go everybody come in for us. It's had to go green. 30 laps on the board here, Lima Land. Flatline Racing Body, Hometown Heroes, Coast2Coast Racing Network. And the league here tonight, green flag. They all ready, man. Spread out 3 wide. Look at this mess in the back. Hold on to it. Woo.
Yeah, who was that? It was a yellow car. Maybe Shreve. Yeah, Shreves, and he's missing a front wing already.
Uh-oh. What's that going to do to the car for him missing that right now? Yeah, is it going to push a little bit?
It's definitely going to affect the handling of that car. Maybe not so much hurt on the aerodynamics, as aerodynamics around here don't really matter. Maybe in a 305 it does a little bit more than a 410 later on, but definitely hurt him. He's falling all the way back here to around the 12th spot.
They're 2x2 out front. Joe Moose, though, man, he's got moose muscle hanging on to that thing. Meanwhile, he's got Sellis hanging on to his back cush bar, but they are back here beating and banging on each other. Blake Chapman's in the wall. Butch Baker's in the wall. We got a Team Watson caution. Uh-oh, let's go back and watch Dan McLaren. Let's go back on the Malcolm Mills replay. Let's see. We saw it up there with Butch and them. They were just kind of tagging. Like one car got sideways, then he got on the tires. Unfortunately, Dan McLaren, he just got broadsided and then somebody flapped his wheel.
Floppy wheel.
Is
it a Flappy Bird?
Floppy.
Is it the cousin of the Flappy Bird?
I don't know. No, it looks like Floppy Wilson.
We're under our first yellow here of the night, 305 division. Remember, 30 laps, a lot of time to get it done still.
What, 5 laps?
Yeah, 5 laps in already.
Not bad.
I mean, you figure we're running in about 11-second lap times or so, 12 seconds, low 12s.
Green flag, here we go, back at it again. Ellis gets a good jump, but he's got Joe Moose right there with him. Those two guys have been going at it. Behind him, you got Barker, K-Singer, man, right there with him. And out through the field, too. A little bit more spread out here, single file, but you do got some side-by-side. And that's the one biggest change I've seen with these 305s this season. You can get side-by-side, maybe throw a slider on somebody.
Yeah, and it's definitely a lot easier to get side-by-side on such a short track with tighter corners than what Eldora has. Definitely way tighter corners at least. I mean,
Look at this guy in a mess. Yeah, 8th place spot. Wow, they are duking it out.
A Moose, you got a Schatzer, you got a Chapman, and another Chapman.
Got a Moose.
No.
Oh, contacting the tires. He was able to hold on to it. And, you know, like I say, I just see these 305s. They're a lot more, you know, kind of wiggly than what they used to be. Used to be planted. Hey, you're able to get out there, man, slingshot him around some. Meanwhile, Celis is out front. He's holding on to a pretty good lead. Kind of getting spread out here, though. Everybody's single file. That top side's coming in. And, whoa, hang on to it. Jatzer just got banged. Who that was in front of him, but he got all kind of sideways.
Yeah, right there behind Connor Ross. That's where the mess of cars are right now. Colby K-Singer right there making contact with Zach Chapman somehow. Those two cars
man out here street stocks, man.
I mean, come on, man. Schatzer, Kurt, he's going to pull it down pit side. It looks like maybe he got force down there, and he is going to take that thing to the toe.
Fortunate on his end, but yeah, these guys back here thinking they're in some stock cars out here just going at it side by side, beating and banging. You don't do that with open wheel cars.
No, not as often do you see a lot of beating and banging, but halfway through this race, and Salas has a lap car in his sights. That is going to be John Rayner, the first victim to go lap down.
This is Salas right now out front. Kind of what I'm seeing too is they go with a slide on this 305, but then it kind of like the rear end kind of snaps back around on them, kind of like straightens out. So they're like halfway sliding, and then it kind of straightens out.
Look at how beautiful this track is starting to look. It is dried out all the way from top to bottom. Has some rubber built up down in the corner entry. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm seeing a little bit of dust being kicked up too.
Love it. You got Barker right here hanging on the third. Moose hanging on the second. Chad Ham, he's strong in third. DJ Boydell still hanging on to the fifth place. Jacob Moose right there in sixth. Connor Ross, who in his heat race tried to make a new way around the track, but hanging on right now at solidly. Well, he's got sixth place. Fine job he just did there. Dak Chapman back in ninth. Excuse me, eighth. Colby K-Singer was falling 7 spots. Unfortunately, he's back in ninth place, and Blake Chapman rounds out the top 10.
So Salas coming around lap 23. He sees a gaggle of lap cars right there in front of him, about same corner, same straightaway, definitely. If he catches them, I mean, Joseph Moose isn't too far back. Same with Jeffrey Barker. Lap 24, though, I mean, these laps just clock out so quickly. I'm not sure if the lap cars are going to be a factor or not to Isaac Salas. Right now, he is running that car nice and smooth around the outside cushion.
With this track being as small as it is, I think you're right. I think the dust will start to fly more. It's going to dry out quicker than what we saw Eldora.
It helps that he's running up on the cushion, kicking the loose dirt up. It's creating a little bit more dust visibility problems maybe for the back of the field. And there he is. He's caught up to a lap car. That's Steven Bixler that he's got to try to work his way around. And slider is clear. He got it.
And here comes Joe Moose. He's going to see if he can't pull it off riding along with him. He does. Actually looks pretty good. So he's trying to keep Manuel Celis right there in his target. He's a little bit lower, maybe kind of a lot of slider line. He's pulling pull around this track, but he's running out of time as we got 2 to go.
2 to go, and the battle has heated up for your top two. Throw 3 cars under a blanket coming to the white flag for Salas, but the battle is on right there for second, third. He's gonna get it right now. Gavin Chatham, a little advantage right there.
That lap car, man, might be coming into play.
Oh, my.
Never mind. Gonna happen. Barker's gonna get it. Dallas is gonna win it here. By the way, man, for our first race here tonight. Good one.
Yeah, beautiful track as well.
Absolutely. Get a couple of these guys up here. Barker, Moose, and Salas. It's Joseph Joe Moose, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
I mean, he's right there.
All right, well, let's bring up the man, third place, Barker up here. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Jeff, you got a copy on me?
Hey, Corey.
Well, man, able to hang into third, first race out at Limeland for the season in the 305s. Just talk us how you were able to get it done.
Oh, I started there. Yeah, I just ran the top and tried not to let anybody get by, and ended up where I ended up. I can't say I had any strategy. I think I started in third and finished in third. So it was just one of those nights.
Well, either way, you were able to hang in there. You got anybody you like to thank there?
Yeah, definitely got to thank Malcolm's Mills Mill Riding and Coast2Coast Racing League and OSRN for putting up with us. And yeah, that should be good.
Alrighty, there you have, folks. Your third place driver, Jeffrey Barker.
Absolutely, man. Coming home there in third, like you said. This man right here pulled it off. He's one of the Moose guys up in second place.
Hey, Joe, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
Well, you're the highest finishing Moose of the first race here at Limeland for the Hometown Heroes. Just talk us how you're able to hang into second place there.
Yeah, I mean, I made a mistake giving Isaac the top on that restart, but I was just so scared of the wall. And I was like, if I can get a good start on the bottom, I might be able to slide up in front of him, but just didn't happen. So I just decided to sit in second and just run the laps and hold on to the podium.
Well, did you learn anything for the upcoming 360 or 410?
Yeah, wall's scary, and there's some slick spots in the middle that you got to be careful for.
Absolutely. Well, man, you got anybody like to thank you for your outstanding second place?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Eddie's Hot Rods, Main Street Auto, Graham Racing, and my teammates at Musso Racing, and you guys for an amazing broadcast.
There you have, folks. Your second place driver, the Moose, Joseph Moose.
Yeah, that's right, man. Bringing the muscle home. Well, this guy here, though, man, he had the muscle and brought it home in first. Isaac, Joy in the mood. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, man, I tell you what, you up here at the Extreme E-Speed TV Victory Lane here tonight with Hometown Heroes. How was that 305 feeling?
She was fun, man. It was. It's always fun to actually have to do some throttle control in a 305 of all things. So I thought it was entertaining.
No doubt. Well, I mean, the 305 seem like they're a lot more racier than what they were last season. I mean, tell us kind of, are you able to maybe slide job these things a little bit easier?
Oh, I think the gearing is a little bit better. So yeah, you can definitely throw sliders. But man, that momentum's super important still. I think the other big thing about that is like throttle control in the middle of the corner truly matters. In 305s last season, it was kind of just if you could just let off a little bit and get back right on in there after your suspension is set. I mean, she was all gone. But now it's like you're pedaling her through the corners, so I think it's going to make for a lot better racing in 305s.
Tell you what, you want it, put it in victory lane. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, definitely shout out to all those guys over at Venom Racing. It's good to get to hang out with them. I got here like, I don't know, I think I looked at my phone before I got here. It was 5:57, so like 3 minutes before the session went. So I got to see all those guys. Mission 22, everything they do for our veterans. Dean, the Super Dirt Car Series. Magnum Race Designs, Got Your Six Racing Network, RSN Trackside. Everybody here in Coast to Coast. My Gramps, Top Notch Trucking. You guys for the broadcast. I'm super excited to go back and watch. You guys always do a good job. And then, yeah, just thanks to my friends, my family, and thanks to our veterans.
There you go. That's old Isaac Salas, man, bringing it home tonight. Victory lane for the 305s. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We got the 360s here in just a few. All right, folks, here we go. Now we got 360 wing sprints here tonight. Flatline Racing Body's hometown heroes. That's right. Some of these guys are, like to kind of jumping in here a little bit. Just saw the 305s, and Corey, I tell you what, 305s look good. Now we got a little bit more power up underneath our seats here. Corey fell asleep, y'all.
I did not fall asleep. I was answering an important message on Facebook.
Oh, okay, my bad. My girlfriend's in trouble.
No, I do not have a girlfriend, Jeff.
Help you out here, man. Come on.
Come on, man. You know what? That ain't gonna help me out,
man.
man.
You have all the girls, man, calling you up. I know girlfriends.
I do not want a girlfriend, though. Boy.
360s. Got a little bit more power underneath them here. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, right now in practice, still Connor Ross is running 10 9s, low 11s.
Flying around this place.
Hey, yeah, that is absolutely scooting.
That's his best time. His best time's 11 seconds, so not too much different than the 305.
I mean, the 305s were hitting, the best lap in there was an 11.1, and that was on a fresh track. I assume his 10.8 was on a fresh track as well here in practice. But I mean, the fall off is kind of falling off pretty good.
Maybe that shows you the huge difference now with the 305s and how they're able to maybe slide those cars, or just how much this dynamic track and tire model is affecting the higher powered cars. Because used to those times used to be really, really different, a big difference. Now they're not. I mean, yeah, they're still different, obviously, but they're not as huge as they were. So maybe now you're kind of seeing them having to drive the track a lot more than they're used to.
Yeah, the tire wear definitely playing a factor. The time wear off, and then the track drying out more than it used to.
Yeah. See what we got here. A little practice still going on. Getting warmed up.
Yeah, I think we're just waiting on a couple of people to get in, or maybe for practice to run down a little bit.
Yep. Good one so
burn
far.
off the track. Yeah.
Got Connor still out there doing good. 305s. Well, folks, I tell you what, definitely check out all the news you can at c2crl.com. The Coast to Coast Racing League here. Live tonight here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network on YouTube. Also our network on Facebook, dirtfan.com. So appreciate everybody tuning in, getting this dirt action going here. Awesome, awesome running. Far so good. We're up here, we got the hometown heroes, and if you're new to the Old Town Heroes, normally it's one track, and it's kind of like, well, it's your home track week in and week out. What they did this season was they kind of split it up. They're going to rotate between Eldora and Lima Land. So, week where Lima Land was at Eldora last week. Still got the 410 wing sprints to come, and we got Xfinity cars. Waiting on a few, not quite sure.
Oh, there we go. We threw the checkered flag for practice.
All right. Well, it's going to put us in heat race number 1. Flatline Racing Bodies heat race 1. Let's look at the grid. Isaac Sellis, the man out front, and this one starting at Kobe K. Singer right there in second. Jacob Moose starting third. We got Jeffrey Barker starting fourth. Kevin Fry fifth. Dak Chapman in sixth. And Jeffrey Kemper starting in the 7th place spot. Oh. Major difference besides power between the 305 and 3.
Yeah.
Power, yeah. But the power's the basic thing. I mean, that's really is the major difference. Is the power difference. I mean, it is when you go from a 410 or from a 360 to 410. But with the 360s, you know, I don't know. And you've been inside the 410s. To me, it looks like even with the tire wear and the tire model and the track like it is now, I still think you have to drive the cars kind of like you did, because, you know, 360 and 410, you couldn't hold them wide open like you could with a 305.
Yeah, especially around a quarter-mile boring like Lima Land is. You can't hold it full throttle. You never could really in a 360 or 410. But here we go, green flag in the air. And another thing is, with all the horsepower, it burns that tire up more, and it burns the track down a little bit better. Right now, you see a little bit of tire-to-tire contact. That was that a moose that hit his house right there? That was a moose, a Jacob moose.
Oh, and I'll tell you what, who just went off the side back there? Wasn't Kevin Fry, but it was
It was Kevin Fry.
Yeah, Kevin Fry went a little sideways, but he was able to haul it in, get back up there to fourth. Meanwhile, Jacob Moose out front holding on that low line, catfishing it with Celis right behind him. You got Fry hanging on back up the third. Case Singer's right there. He's battling out with Kemper. They're going to go side by side. Oh, it's a Bronco bull ride.
Yeah, you see that battle back there. They're trying to fight for the bottom line. But up front, you see where the line is at Jacob Moose, and even Isaac Salas is running. They're trying their hardest to hit the mud on corner exit. It's just so narrow of a line. You see Kevin Fry, he's sent it real deep down on Isaac Salas. He'll be able to get it down now to turn number 3 again. Jacob Moose going to pick up the Heat Race 1 win. Kevin Fry second. Isaac Salas third. Wow.
Yeah, Fry made that thing work on the bottom. What a Heat Race 1 that was. What a move. We're going to Heat Race number 2. That brings him in the Langdon Mechanical Heat Race number 2. Let's look at the grid real quick. We got Joe Moose out front, Connor Ross starting in second, Dan McLaren third, Pat Boyce there in fourth, Bob DeGood up in fifth, and Randy Shreve starting in the 6th place spot. This one here. So I think what we learned there is maybe you can use that inside lane pretty good.
Yeah, the inside line right now, at least from Heat 1, looked to be pretty dominant. And the reasoning behind that is because they have the horsepower to pull them out of the corner versus those 305s that we've seen where you had to keep the momentum built up.
If old Joe Moose can muscle this thing out front, Connor Ross has been fast. Gonna be able to hang on.
Can we have a Moose 1-2 start for the feature?
True. That's awesome.
Moose, is that Moose cubed or squared or whatever? What is that?
Moose to the second
squared?
power.
Moose to the second power. Well, I have not seen a pink moose, and I have not seen a gray moose yet, but sure they're out there.
Now, race cars in, green flag. Joe Moose out front in this one. Meanwhile, Connor Ross trying to hold off the charge there, Dan McLaren. But look at Ross go to the high side, and they're already beating and banging behind him with Boyce and McLaren.
Yeah, Ross has found the grip there back in turn 3, and he is pulling away now from Joe Moose down in turn number 4. The battle is still on for P3. That's Pat Boyce on the high side, Dan McLaren on the inside. McLaren utilizing the mud on the inside. Boyce trying to find the momentum up top. It's still a little bit less dry up at the top, but the momentum just is not right there right now. The grip
Looks like on that bottom two, where you see down there, man, Dan McLaren, he's fighting with that car to make it slide. It's almost like it'll start sliding, and it kind of like it catches, and he has to play with the wheel a little bit.
Well, he's trying to keep the tires on the car from hitting the tires on the track like he just did there, middle of 3 and 4.
Yeah.
White flag in the air.
Like they say, Connor Ross, he's running away. Joe Moose right now hanging on. Final turns, McLaren's not going to get it done. It's going to be Ross, Moose, and McLaren. The top 3 here, heat race number 2. That was a good one.
Heat
Heat
3.
Race 3. Top Notch Trucking. New sponsor out here. Let's grid them up. Blake Chapman out front here. GJ Boydell starting in second. Trent Verstraeten up in third. Kurt Schatzer starting fourth. Steve Bixler in fifth. And Gavin Chatham starting in
Should be a good one. This is the final heat race. Remember, every spot on track is 3 positions better starting in the feature. So Blake Chapman, if he wins this, he would start in third. GJ Boydell would be in 6th if he finishes in second. And so on and so forth.
Chatham can hang on to it.
Chapman.
Chapman. Chatham's back there in the feet.
Green, green, green.
Here we go. Green flag is in the air once again. 6 more laps in a heat race, and then we'll go into a warm-up in a 30-lap feature. The battle is on there for second. GJ Boydell able to hang on from Trent Verstraeten. Verstraeten trying to utilize whatever's left down there around the bottom line. Catfish in the corner. He gets a little bit better of a exit than GJ. That was Kurt Schatzer grinding the wall down a little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to outline a little bit, see if he can't get something done. I see these 360s are not pulling up on that top side cushion. They're running that bottom lane pretty good so far. Like you said, Chapman out front, Boydell, Straightens hanging on for dear life as Schatzer's up top, trying everything he can do.
Just got to try a different line. I mean, especially when you have two cars in front of you, utilizing the very bottom, you really have no other choice other than maybe attempt it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right
GJ.
now, hold on. Not been able to get that slide move he needs on him.
Oh, for shining
that's
to
what he
GJ.
needed. Oh, man, that's what he wanted. He was like, Merry Christmas, early.
Last time down the straightaway, Schatzer will steal away second.
Ooh.
Wow.
And by inches. That was awesome. Chapman, though, wins it. Schatzer second, Boydell third. We got to warm up, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here in a few.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
All right, folks, here we go. Feature time for the 360 wing sprints here tonight. Saw some awesome ones there. Let's look here. So we're going to check our catalytic recovery starting lineup here tonight. Jacob Moose going to be the man out front. Connor Ross starting second. Blake Chapman third. Kevin Fry starting in fourth. Joe Moose there in fifth. Kurt Chatzer starting in sixth. Isaac Sella seventh. Dan McLaren starting in eighth. GJ Boydell in ninth. Jeffrey Kemper starting 10th. Pat Boyce in 11th. Trent Straighten starting 12th. Zach Chapman starting 13th. Randy Shreve 14th. Stephen Bixler starting 15th. Colby K. Singer starting in 16th. Bob DeGood 17th. Gavin Chatham there in 18th. And Jeffrey Barker in the 19th place spot. So good looking starting field here. Who you think gonna win?
Who do you think is gonna win?
Guy that finishes first.
Oh, I'm gonna go for Moose.
Moose?
Uh-huh.
Moose power. Stick with the guy who finishes first. Cheat.
You always cheat.
Yeah, well, you know. Why not? Ain't cheating, ain't trying.
Well, it'll be interesting to
that
see if
works.
the high side comes in here. You see the track is
Yeah, we
already
didn't see
rubbered
that.
up
We didn't
on
see
it.
that, did we, Corey?
No, he did not see the high side in the heat races. Maybe here in the feature being 30 laps. Can Jacob Moose hang on? He'll start front row. Here we go. Green flag in the air.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor Ross, man, gets shift back a little bit as they go almost 2 by 2. Meanwhile, Chapman right there in the second place spot. Fry got a few of them in the back around. For Straighten, he's in the middle of the track, unfortunately done. Steven Bixler's all messed up with his wings crooked. His whole car's crooked. Good grief. That
Well, the
thing-
good news is, I mean, if you get wrecked,
Yeah, the good
just
news
pull it
is
in.
the front wing's hanging on by a thread. I don't know what he's waiting. Well, there it goes. I don't know what he's waiting on. He might as well just take that thing off into the thing before he calls it wreck. Yeah, there you go. Good job. Good job, Steve. Yeah, that thing was done.
Oh, we got a big old wreck. Who? There was an orange car almost heading out of the track. Maybe Kemper.
Camper. Go back here. We got a Team Watson caution. Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened. Oh, Kemper nowhere to go. Just got slam bam.
Then he pulled back down on track there in front of Pat Boyce.
Who's
Oh,
still
that's
leading this
the-
one? They're fighting the pits. Hey, Joe Moose still holding on to this thing, or Jacob Moose still holding on to it. One of the Mooses.
A moose.
Moose.
Is that how the moose goes? People
On YouTube,
think we're
folks.
weird.
Yeah, we got pace cars off. We're going back green. We got Jacob Moose out front. Green flag. He just drops the hammer. Connor Ross behind him. Chapman right there with it. They're still, man, digging. They're 2 by 2 all the way through the field, about mid-pack, around 8th place spot. Look at this 3-wide mess.
Oh boy, 3 wide midfield, the front of the pack. They are thinking about maybe 3 wide as well. Oh wow, if Jacob Moose wasn't as quick as he was right there, he would have been 3 wide on the high side.
Oh my God! Old K Singer boy's getting slung around back there like a ping pong ball. I mean, they are just kicking it up all throughout the field. Man, we got action front, back, middle, just like dirt racing here. Chats are looking good there in 3rd place, but he's trying to hold off Blake Chapman, Kevin Fry out front. Joe Moose loving what he's seeing. Got a car up in a wall. I think that's Celis. Celis is up there. Don't stop on the track.
I don't think he had much of a choice though. It would have came down on the front of the field.
Well,
He
now hold up a
good.
minute. Hey, you get it, cause he almost still came down. Go back on the Malcolm Mills and replay, see what happened. He almost came down on him. Man. Oh, he got caught in the tire. He got up into the wall. Oh, done.
Done. Well done. Or medium done.
Nose.
Ah. How do you cook a moose?
That's a good question. You're going to have to ask Roger and him. I have no clue. Maybe like a deer? I mean, I didn't even know you eat moose.
I assume you can eat a moose. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, they were out there talking.
Here
Remember
you
they
eat-
showed that.
that was an
Roger-
elk.
Remember? I thought it was no. He posted a thing about a moose. He sells a moose.
Oh, he might have. Yeah, he probably
And
did.
remember he
post
posted a thing,
picture
and
on
then
moose.
one of the guys commented and said, "Well, that's good eating right there." And I'm like, I guess. I mean, I've never had moose, but hey, we're going back green. Let us know out in the chat. Green flag. Take a moose out front. Meanwhile, look behind them. 2x2 stacked up, almost 3 wide. Who's going to get through this madhouse?
Right now, Jacob Moose liking the battles happening behind him as they are 2 wide, just about for second place. Connor Ross on the inside. Here comes Kurt Schatzer. He'll power charge on the outside and drag race down the front straightaway. Schatzer now moves up to second place momentarily. Oh my, what a good battle we have going on. We got another car up in the wall that was
Blair
Zach
and Bobby
Chapman.
Good got together in the back there, lost some wings. And unfortunately, and they got down in the pit road though, off the track. Meanwhile, like you said, Chatzer's holding on to second. The battle's going on for 4th and 5th. You got Joe Moose, Connor Ross. They're going to duke it out. Like who knows who's going to be able to get that better half of them. As Ross is down kind of middle of the track. You said the high lane's coming in. It is. As we got a big one in the back here. Hold up. Well, no, he got off the track. No.
Zach Chapman not going to be able to make it.
Wow. Tim Watson. Caution, let's go back on the Malcolm Mills. Yeah, see what happened to Chapman. Here. Ricocheted off the wall. Oh, then he got caught into the wall and turned around. Yep, just went around.
And car couldn't quite make it around the track, and
Keep going.
yeah, I mean the field was coming up on him. Maybe not the best place for him to come to a halt there, but he didn't have much of a choice. It wasn't going to steer to the left. Good go single file. We've had 2 cautions, and never mind, we're going to double them up.
Yeah.
So halfway through this event here, Jacob Moose on the point. Still, here we go. 2 wide already right behind the Moose man. That's Schatzer and Blake Chapman. Going side by side down in turn number 3. Coming on turn 4. Schatzer with the high side momentum, able to get it done. But look at this. We got the other Moose man trying to work his way up, trying to finish behind the other Moose. It's Joe Moose there in the white car right behind second and third.
Now they're tangling it up a little bit as we got in the back. Bobby Good around. Might have got off the track though, but meanwhile up front, man, you see old Joe Moose trying. He's in the middle there. Chapman and Fry, who had a heck of a run, one of those 305s early on.
Joe Moose really wanted to shove the slider in on Blake Chapman, just did not have the clearing to get in between Chapman and Schatzer, so he'll stay right now in 4th place. Gonna take his time, try to find the weakness of Blake Chapman to get around him on the outside, maybe a slider coming. But Kurt Schatzer able to close in now on your race leader, Jacob Moose. The high side definitely has a lot more momentum, but look at this, the lap car, Bob DeGood right here in front. Not sure how Jacob is going to attack this. Bob the Good might.
Looks like he's going to go down low, but then Bob the Good's taking a kind of a slider line, so he's going in low, but taking away that high lane through the middle of the track. He's going to have to stay low if the leader gets close to him. And right now, like you said, Jacob, he needs to worry about behind him, Schatzer. He can't kind of slow up too much, and Schatzer will be right there on his back end.
Yeah, Jacob Moose now able to get side by side with the lap car Bob the Good, and never mind, that's going to be short-lived as we have a Team Watson Racing setup caution on the track.
Malcolm Mills replay, see what happened here. It's Gavin Gadham back. The wall spins it around. All jumped out and bit him. All right. Bruce, hold this thing off.
And we will go single file here for this restart, under 10 to go. We'll have 6 when we take it back green. Might, I don't know. Schatzer can get a good start here. He might be able to put the slider on Jacob Moose down in 3 and 4. Seems about be the best place to pull one if you were. Here we go though. Jacob Moose down in turn number 1. He'll pull the slider line on Schatzer. Schatzer lets us stay up top. Schatzer trying to build up momentum here in the closing laps to get around Jacob Moose. But Blake Chapman under pressure from Joe Moose. Joe Moose trying to pull the slider, not enough out of turn number 2. Chapman a little bit in the wall there.
Meanwhile, the biggest battle's happening right behind him. You got Chapman, Joe Moose, Fry, like you was talking about. They were 3 wide for a moment. Then they got that thing settled out. Never mind. Fry's around. And that was a beautiful 360. Keep going. But Connor Ross is going to pay the price. If he can get on pit road, he does. Good job.
Oh, and the caution is out anyways. Oh, what for? Oh, we got...
Jeffrey Kemper. On a Malcolm Mills replay. Come on now. One dude does a 360, the other one's there, got his car all tore up. See what Kemper could have done here. Kemper's the one that got in the back of Fry just a little bit. Just spun it around. When he spun around, he got hit, stopped in the middle of the track. Boom.
I mean, I don't think there was much he could have done there. Caution was coming out for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kurt was fixing to get by Jacob. Joseph had gotten around Blake, but did not get the lap scored. So, a couple more shots here for Schatzer to get around Jacob Moose. A couple more shots for Joe Moose to try to move himself up into the podium here in the 360s.
Oh,
we are going to go green.
Pick this thing back off. Only 3 to go. Green, white, checkered here on the dirt. Oh, Jacob loves it. He's able to get out. Here we go. Battle's on for 3rd. You got Chapman, Joe Moose, Dallas and company. They're going 3 wide. They know they don't have much time left here on this track. White flag. One more time, then killed himself. Don't matter.
Well, it looked like Joe Moose maybe caught a lucky break when Chapman got up in the wall. One last shot for Joe Moose, making a 1-2. Not going to make it happen. Jacob Moose wins. Kurt Schatzer 2nd, and Joe Moose going to put both Mooses in a podium in 3rd.
Yeah, we've got a Moose show here.
Awesome. Moose.
Got Joe and Jacob Moose. Schatzer tearing up the party here in the 2. So bring up Joe here and let's get a word with him.
Hey Joe, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, you're able to work your way up to a top 3 on the last restart. Just talk us through how you're able to get that done.
Yeah, hats off to Blake. He was driving great. But I hit the wall with about 15 to go, and I broke my right front a little bit. And I was like, oh, well, my race is over. And those cautions got me back in it. And then I think when we were throwing those sliders, I think Blake got the wall a little bit, and it might have broke his car. But I just knew I had to throw a Hail Mary the last 2 laps, and it stuck, and I just rode the bottom, so Isaac couldn't get me, and I'll settle for 3rd.
Absolutely. Good job by you. Got anybody like thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fast Eddie's Hot Rods, Main Street Auto, Jake for great drive. Congrats to him on that win, and you guys were a great broadcast.
There you have it, folks. The one Moose, Joseph Moose.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, 3rd place man. Let's bring up here Kurt Schatzer up here and let's get a word with him.
Hey, Kurt, you got a copy on me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, man, you're able to hang in there for 2nd, but did you think you might have had something there for the Jacob Moose?
Not when that last caution came out. I'm horrible at restarts, and then I knew it took me about 2 or 3 laps to actually get it wound up on the top to where I could actually close in on them. I was trying to set them up to try a little maybe diamond them underneath and come off late in the race there, but we just had too many cautions, and it just took me too long to get wound back up and reel them back in every time. But all in all, Jacob ran a good race there. He deserved it.
Absolutely. Well, man, good job on your 2nd place. You got anybody like thank you?
Yeah, I thank Jay over at Dirt Track Bank. They do a lot to support racers all around the country, different series, support us on our iRacing ventures. Got Your Six Racing Network. The boys over on Hammer Down Racing, Brandon Templeton, Brian Dickens, and Joe Halter. Roger Preston giving us a place to race. You guys coming out and doing the broadcast for us. Do an awesome job. Everybody watching at home.
There you have it, folks. That's your 2nd place driver, Kurt Schatzer.
Coming out front doing a good job with this man here. Jacob, man, pulling it off here tonight. Jacob, Joey in the booth, you got a copy?
Got a copy.
Well, man, looking good, man. Strong here tonight. How you feeling out there in them 360?
Well, the 305 race was totally, but that was horrible. I did not do good. So I didn't expect anything crazy out of the 360, but I just, I guess I gelled with the power a little bit more and a lot more throttle control, and I was just able to do this slider line I found in practice, and just worked it really well, and just had to keep it on the restarts, and just kept it safe, I guess.
Absolutely, and was able to pull it off here in the 360. But, man, looked good out there for the Extreme eSpeed TV Victory Lane. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I like to thank Fast Eddie's Hot Rods, Main Street Auto, my teammates John, Joe, Cody, and Eddie, Graham Racing, and you guys for a great broadcast, and Coast to Coast for a great league.
There you go. That's your winner tonight there. Old Jacob Moose bringing it home for the 360s. But don't go anywhere. We got some 410 wing sprints here. We'll be right back here in a few.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
All right, folks, here we go. The bad boys, 410 wing sprints out here for the hometown heroes, Flatline Racing Body. And Roger, if you're out there watching, I didn't see you here tonight, so I guess you're still out fishing or moose hunting, or I don't know what y'all do up in Canada. I mean, ice racing or something. I mean, come on. Give us a hint. Y'all still out there fishing? We got the 410 wing sprints. I'm a land. Been interesting tonight.
Yeah, absolutely been a good one so far here on my land. You know, quarter-mile bull ring, a little something different than what we're used to. Half miles, a half mile last season of Knoxville, which was flat, and then this season we have the half mile of Eldora, which is banked. I mean, this track has some banking to it. I mean, definitely a lot more.
I like Lima Land better than Eldora.
I enjoy Lima Land a lot. I just wish there were more Ohio tracks for Craig to put on the schedule.
Well, there are some other.
I said Ohio tracks.
Oh. Nobody care about Ohio.
Okay. Listen, man, that's what they're doing is the regional series here at Ohio. They're switching between Eldora and Lima Land. It's up in Lima, Ohio. They got the University of Northwestern Ohio up here. Track owns it. I mean, the campus owns it.
We only got one track I know of here in North Carolina. Concord. I mean, we got Caraway Speedway, which is I think is a dirt track, but it's not like
you got the dirt track at Charlotte.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Concord's dirt. But I mean, that's the big one. I mean, I imagine we got some local like ones. I'm not 100% sure where. I think Caraway down below me here is a dirt track. I could be wrong. It could be more. It could be an asphalt, almost like Bowman Gray. Bowman Gray could be a dirt track. No, here's my feeling. You know what, Bowman Gray would be really exciting. What they should take with that is like half the season have it asphalt and then just fill it the other half with dirt.
I mean, you have Fayetteville Motor Speedway down there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Millbridge.
There's probably are some other ones that I'm not familiar with in North Carolina.
Have you heard of Millbridge?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard of it. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like I said, the most famous, I mean, because obviously Concord, the World of Outlaws, that's why I know it's the most famous. So I'm not really familiar with all the other ones. I mean, Bowman Gray's famous because of NASCARs. Obviously, Z-Max Dragway and then, Charlotte Motor Speedway. But, we got we got Rockingham here in North Wilkesboro. But as far as, we're NASCAR country, man, here, not known for dirt.
I mean, okay.
Well, I'm just
sure anybody in North Carolina just unclaimed you as North Carolina if you don't know what.
What I just said. We are NASCAR country. I mean, come on, dude. Really?
I know, but still.
When you come here, we got North Wilkesboro, Rockingham, Charlotte. I mean, those are the known tracks here. I mean, if somebody said, "Well, what's North Carolina known for in motorsports wise?" NASCAR. They're not going to say, "Oh yeah, the World of Outlaw" or the PA posses. We don't have no NC Outlaws down here. Outlaw posse. Oh man. There is no outlaw dirt North Carolinian. I mean, there's probably some dirt tracks here, but they're not going to supersede the NASCAR area that where I'm at. Like where I'm sitting at right now is NASCAR country. I'm sitting in between the Triad area where Concord, Kannapolis, Charlotte is sitting at. And those areas are known for that. Quite sure we're waiting on here, but we're waiting on some 410s to bring in. But yeah, I mean, just having a conversation on some of the tracks. And you was talking about Ohio, and I'm not quite sure, like I said, where I'm at here. But yeah, I mean, North Carolina's known for NASCAR.
And not sure what we're waiting on here. I'd say more drivers. I mean, Kemper and Ross, we're advancing in with six
You gotta
cars.
remember, this is an invite only, so the field might be a little short. Plus, we got a few guys that are out on vacation, like Roger Craig. I mean, come on. He took his 747 on a flight cruise, man, and is out there doing some, I don't know, fishing. But it looks like everybody's going to Heat Race 1 here in Flatline Racing Body. The grid real quick. We got Gavin Chatham going to man out front, Jeffrey Barker in second, Trent Verstraeten in third, Blake Chapman in fourth, Kevin Fry fifth, Bob DeGood sixth, Jeffrey Kemper seventh, and Connor Ross in eighth. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation we was having there, Corey, real quick before we go green. Let everybody in the chat out there know, when you think of a state, as far as motorsports goes, what comes to your mind first? Like if I say Pennsylvania, some people are going to say
The PA posse.
PA posse, okay? But if I say North Carolina, NASCAR. If I say Florida, Daytona. You know, see what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to say stuff like that, and you know, it all depends on where you're at, demographic or something like that. Not to say that there's probably not some awesome dirt tracks here. I just don't know of them. Except for one.
Well, here we go. 6 cars, all 6 of them move on.
Yeah,
And where they finish, they are not in the servers.
Well.
I mean, where they finish here in the heat race is where they start for the 30-lap feature event. This ought to be pretty good here. Here we go. And look at a couple of wheelies already. Oh, wow.
I like wheelies, man. I like when they used to do the wheelies when they first came out. He's right up on the back end. Oh, here comes the lawnmower. Kevin Fry to the front. He's going down low, looking chopping up a bit. And if he can't bring up a sandstorm, meanwhile, Chatham out front. Fry's right there in second, battling. Here comes Barker up in third. They're going to see if they can't get the inside groove moving. 410s, you got a lot of power with these machines.
Yes, you do. And Kevin Fry, he cut down the tire right there. Bounced the car up. You got to be careful if you hit those buried tires in the corner. That's something we haven't seen yet in this league is the tires. Yeah.
Always call them donuts down there, but now they're half donuts. Oh, he caught it that time. Got it sideways. Lost a lot of time. As Chapman's able to get around, and meanwhile, Barker's moved in on the top man up there, Chatham.
Coming through the white flag one more time around here for the heat race. The only heat race of the 410s. Can Chatham hold on? Down in turn number 3, Jeffrey Barker going to send it deep. Not going to have enough. And no, not going to lose second.
Chatham, Barker, Chapman, looking strong out front. Woo! We're just in a little warm up. We'll be right back here in a few, folks.
Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
All right, here we go. Feature time here. 410 wing sprints. Got our grid real quick here. We got our catalytic recovery starting to line up. Gavin Chatham out front. Jeffrey Barker in second. Blake Chapman starting in third. Kevin Fry fourth. Bob DeGood fifth. Trent Restraight in sixth. It's going to be Jeffrey Kemper and Connor Ross. They still not here.
Yeah, so 6 cars, 30 laps. Depends on how much they were able to burn in there, and the 3-minute warm-up is what's going to determine if the high side comes in. Or actually, how much they burned off the bottom is what will determine if the high side comes in. So, 6 cars. Get the pace car out there that iRacing designed, and the... Oh, and we had a wheelie. Did you see that, Jed? Did you see the wheelie?
Lot of wheelies.
Barker was able to do.
Wheelies.
So who finished top half and who finishes in the bottom half of the field here?
Oh.
Half and half here. 3 of them are going to get interviewed, 3 of them aren't.
Right. Yeah. These cars pulling them around.
Here we go. Going to see the world's fastest 410s. And already
Coast2Coast
almost
Racing.
picking up the wheelies
Yeah,
there
I saw
on
that. Like
Chatham.
that. Chatham, he's out front with Chatham right there behind him. But they're going to go side by side. Kevin Fry, Barker on with them also. Good race to start this one off.
Yeah, side by side there for the lead on corner exit. Chatham with the momentum on the high side, able to pull away momentarily. Chapman attempting to get there, not quite enough out of turn 3, more so out of turn 2 that he's able to pull up. But Chatham up top, he's able to keep that speed going, keeping the car nice and smooth and straight as much as he can, not getting it too sideways. You see Chapman, he's attempting to get around. Look at the car up in the wall at the back. That was Trent Verstraeten.
By the way, I want to give a first day of summer here, too. Hot and heavy on the track.
First day of summer, is it?
Yep, 21st of June. Longest day of the year. Day of summer. Hot man here on the track, hot outside. Hot throughout. Well, Kevin Fry still hanging on there between old Barker and company. Everybody's kind of spread out. Chapman's trying to run in on the backside of Chatham.
And Chatham just able to keep that car nice and smooth out at the front. He'd have to make a big mistake in order for Chapman to close in on him. Chapman doesn't need to make any more of a mistake than Chatham. Chatham seems like he does a little better on corner exits. Chapman gains on corner entrance. And you know what? I see the bottom and there's still a good bit of mud down there. If somebody wanted to take advantage, it would do it down here in turn 3. You see Chapman, I think he's looking down there, maybe seeing the mud.
Bro.
A cut down line in the corners here for Chapman, trying to...
What's he got to do, man, to catch up here to Chapman? Damn.
Well, just so hard, especially with 6 cars. You don't have traffic to contend with. You have so much horsepower that it's easier to power out of a mistake if somebody does make one. You almost got to start changing up your line, and right now the high side is the dominant. Okay, we got a caution.
Caution.
Kevin Fry, the lawnmower.
Setup from Malcolm Mills replay. See what happened to Kevin Fry. He's out here and the wall have a talk. Just spun it out.
A little bit too much on the beans.
Yeah. Problem.
So we should go double file. This should give Blake a little bit better of a chance. He wants to find his way around Chatham. And now Barker riding in the interview spot.
Be good.
Bob the
Strong
Good.
so far.
Yeah. Almost halfway through this thing. 13 laps scored. I have 17 to go when we go green here. And the pace car is fixing to pull down into the infield. Here we go. Good start for Gavin Chatham. Chapman looking down low, maybe gonna throw a slider, but they were making contact right behind him. Really sent Kevin Fryer to the clear back of the field, and they are 3 wide for third. Look at this.
Battle for the lead. Chapman's looking on the inside. 3 wide behind them, though. Wow, is this going to end up really well? Bob the Good's right there on the top side. Barker's right there on the middle. Verstraeten's right down the bottom side. I know Freisberger are looking to go at Rick so I can get up here and get to you guys, and I'm way off the pace. Meanwhile, Chatham's out front. Chapman right there behind him. They're kind of pulling away. Bob the Good's actually got away from the 2 guys there behind him.
Yeah, good job by Bob DeGood right there to pull away. Was able to utilize the high side momentum, but I don't know if he'd have enough time to catch up to Chapman. Maybe if he's smoother than Chapman, we'll check the lap times as they come around next time by. See who's quicker of the 2.
Through that, you got Chapman out front.
715, 784, just not slower than Chapman.
Chapman's got that thing on afterburners. Look at that time.
Yeah, look at Chatham running 11.595 that lap. Chapman a 496.
Yeah.
About a tenth quicker there, but it's going to take a lot more than 1/10 to catch up, especially around a bull ring like this where you click off the lap so quickly.
Yeah, and you see like last time there, Chapman was faster than Chatham out front, so and Bob DeGood still kind of staying dead heat, even in third. He's got Jeffrey Barker there in fourth. Everybody, our leader almost lost. Are you kidding me? Chapman said that's the mistake I needed. Chatham, man, made that mistake up top, got into the bad, like you said, marbles, and spun it out. Almost.
Wow.
Good
That is
save by him.
That is one of those mistakes that you do not want to do.
No. That's the 410s. Like I said, you still got to be throttle controlled on these machines. They got a lot of power. Bob DeGood still holding the third. Barker's back there in fourth. Everybody's kind of spread out as Chapman right now leads the way. Barker sitting back here in the 4th place spot. We're straightening in 5th. Kevin Fry with the Kubota. He's back in 6th.
Not a whole lot of laps to make up. Yeah, it looks like a Kubota. It's Kubota.
It looks like a Kubota.
You said Kubota.
Kubota.
It's a Kubota. Cause my dad owns a Kubota tractor.
Good for him. He's got a Kubota. Out front, Chatham sitting in 2nd. Bob DeGood there in 3rd. No fun. Barker in 4th, man. Verstraeten hanging on the 5th. Kevin Fry, he's back there in the 6th place spot. Kemper and Ross didn't make the show. Chapman, he's going to make a mistake one more time around here.
It'd have to be a real big mistake if he were to make one to lose the lead here. Coming out of turn number 4 for Blake Chapman. He'll be the hard charger by all theory, up 2 spots.
Run for him. Chatham right there in 2nd, and Bob DeGood runs her up in 3rd. What a good finish here to the 410 wing sprints here with the hometown heroes.
Mr. Bob DeGood.
Got his Mr. in the wrong spot.
I know.
Put that around.
Hold on, man. Oh, never mind. Nothing.
Chatham and Chapman. Zachary Chapman. Chapman's around here.
Might as well bring up DeGood here.
Bring him up.
I can't. I don't have the power.
There's DeGood. Elbow Bob DeGood up here. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Bob, you got a copy on me?
I do.
Well, man, up 2 spots from where you started this race, get a podium finish in the 410s at Lima Land. Just talk us through that race.
Oh, it was a challenge to use only a little bit of throttle. a lot of power on a little track, and it was going to be he who has the egg under his right foot is going to do better than the guy that doesn't.
Well, you kept that egg from breaking there. You're able to bring him in third. You got anybody like to thank?
Oh, I'd like to thank the Coast to Coast Racing League, Fuel Energy Drink, Swindell Speed Labs.
Anybody else?
Jeff Barker, my teammate, he's been helping me get faster and faster.
Well, there you have, folks. You're third place driver, Bob the Good.
Yeah, man, old Bob doing really good, and he did the good tonight. So, and coming home in second here, though, man, Chad Ham, strong there.
Hey, Gavin, you get a copy on me?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Well, man, you're a little mistake there out of you closing in on the final laps there sets you back to second place. Just talk us through how you were able to still hang on though.
Yeah, I don't know what's. It seems like that they must have did another update on these cars or something because it feels like they're completely different again. And it's just I was running fine and running my race good, and I was like, okay, we got a decent lead. We'll just be smooth and we should be fine. And you kind of hate to win one like that where we only had 6 cars tonight, but there's still some good drivers in here, and it would have been a nice win, especially the first 410 win for us. And just driver error screwed up, I guess. I looked at the right rear; it didn't seem like it was burnt off or anything as much as it normally would have been. I was real careful on the throttle, and the thing just snapped dead right on me. So I don't know. I was actually talking to Blake a little bit. I don't know if maybe I got a little damage there from when Kevin hit me under the caution there, or something got knocked out on. These cars are so sensitive now. It seems like that the littlest bit will send you going for sure.
Well, either way, you're able to hang in there, get a second place finish. You got anybody like to thank?
I just want to thank you guys for doing an awesome job of the broadcast. I want to thank Coast to Coast for putting on an awesome league. It's always fun coming out and racing. We had a pretty frustrating night tonight, but at least we capped it off with a second place finish, which is good. I want to thank Chatham Motorsports, MSMD, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Miss Velocity Race Design, and Northeast Outlaw Motorsports. I want to thank all the fans and all my fans that come out and watch. I hope we put on a good show tonight, and thanks for all the support.
There you have, folks. Your second place driver, Gavin Chatham.
Absolutely doing a good job. Like I said, let's bring this guy up here, Blake Chapman, who put her all in victory lane. Up here tonight, Blake, Joe in the booth, got a copy?
I got you, Joe.
Well, I'll tell you what, you was able to hang on. A little bit of slip there for old Chatham, and you was able to get by. But what was your feeling about how this car was handling?
Yeah, I mean, I felt that it was handling pretty good, and I was running second there majority of the race, and I figured the only way I was going to catch Gavin is if he made a mistake. And then with about 10 to go, I saw him get sideways up on the cushion, and I knew that was my chance. And once I got around him, I feel like I really got in a rhythm up top, and then the gap just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But after seeing what happened to Gavin, I was definitely just laser focused on keeping her smooth.
No doubt, and you was able to keep it smooth, putting it up here in the Extreme E-Speed TV victory lane for the 410 wing sprints. Hometown heroes. Got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank my parents, grandparents, sister, everybody watching and supporting, Steve Bixler too. And I got to thank all the boys now at the Krite Sim Racing Team and the Can-Am Racing Team. And a huge shout out to Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Head over to their website, use code CART, C-A-R-T at checkout for 15% off some of their delicious South Dakota homegrown popcorn. And I got to thank you guys for putting this broadcast on.
There you go. That's old Blake Chapman right there, putting it in the 410 wing sprint. Victory lane. Don't go anywhere. We got some Xfinity racing coming up here soon. We'll be right back here in a few, folks.
How about the reverse for Lucy Olsen? She has her first point. Yeah, Lucy Olsen, talented sophomore.
All right, folks, here we go. We got some Xfinity racing here tonight. That's right. Got the Lucy Olson missing 22. Out the dogs. Got all those guys out here sponsoring us up. A Nashville Super Speedway. I'm kind of confused on why they say the Super Speedway part. This place is only 1.33 mile. Nowhere near Super Speedway. It ain't near intermediate. It's like a in between intermediate and small. So it's like a mid-midget.
Hey, what?
It's like not a midget. It's not regular. It's like in between.
Okay, when Josie gets canceled here, it's not my fault. I'm not associated with Joe White.
Little people, whatever you want to call it. I mean, come on. Whatever. I don't know what you want to say. What you want me to say? Hey.
Oh, no, it's like a cookie cutter that chopped off 2/10 of a mile.
No, it's like a half cookie.
It's
Or
a
3/4 cookie, all right? So, okay, I got you. Yeah,
well, it's 1.33 miles. I'm not sure who came up with that rounded out.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Most 1.5 miles are cookie cutter tracks. They say this is a super speedway. It's nowhere near it. I say that's 2 mile or bigger. I mean, I always say 1 mile or smaller, small track. So it's not quite at the small track level. It's not at the intermediate level. So it's like a half-baked cookie. Or medium midget.
Diet cookie.
Oh, it's diet cookie. Yeah. Doing your diet cookie. There you go. Well, either way, got a lot of, this place reminds me of Kentucky, though. I was watching it last night with the trucks, and it looks like it races like what Kentucky does. It does. The way that you have to go around, the tire wear, and how slick you can get here, it just reminds me of Kentucky. Might not be mimicked after it, but it just reminds me of Kentucky.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, just the way, the more I looked at it, the more I saw how the guys were running the track, and the more I saw how the tires and how hard it is to pass here, too. I thought more of Kentucky. Plus, the banking. The banking is not a lot here. There's not a lot in Kentucky either. You don't drive all the way on the bottom. Notice they're not driving a lot of times. I mean, at first, yeah, like you got new tires. Eventually, kind of come up off of it just a little bit, kind of diving in, let it glide coming off the track, off the turn. So it just gave me those Kentucky vibes. It could be different, different for everybody, but for me, I feel like I could probably step out on this track, and for my driving style, I think I would be okay. Not an aggressive driver's track. Kind of what I'm saying.
Didn't you win one of your first races at Kentucky?
Yes,
on here?
I did.
That's what
I won at Charlotte also. But and between those two tracks, those are actually, now Charlotte, you can be a lot more aggressive at first, and depending on how the race comes to you, you can be aggressive on that track. Sometimes you can be a little bit conservative for long green flag runs, but on Kentucky, or I'm gonna say even this track, aggressiveness, sure, you probably can for the first trip, but you're going to pay the price if you are with your tire wear, especially if it gets a long green flag run. Tires will make a difference here. Now, tire fall off, though, happens very quick with that said. So, like what we saw last night, I'll go back to, if it's late in the race and if there's 10 lap difference between tires of a person and the guy stays out, If he has several cars in between him, 3-4 cars in between the other guy, then he might be okay out front. Now, the other gentleman is right there on his back bumper. It's a different subject. But if the other one with the newer tire has to race through the field, the tire fall off here, just like Kentucky. Okay, it falls off quick.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever run
especially
here. Have you ever
I
run here?
ran here a couple of times. I
You
never
tell me
did
what you
like
think
it.
about it, then. You tell me what you think.
I don't know. I don't like this track. I can't figure it out.
Nah, that's because you're like a girl.
Okay, that's exactly like because I'm a dirt driver and I like to go hard and short run.
You cheats, folks.
You cheat.
In other words, I need to set Corey up on a long 40-lap race here. Long green flag run.
I'll just wreck you when you come around to lap me.
Behind you the whole entire time, follow you around the track.
Yeah, and you'll burn your stuff up too.
Well, I'll just watch you.
Yeah, and when you go to pass me, I'll just wreck you anyways.
Bump you right out the way.
Bump you out of the way.
Qualifying underway here. You're gonna put this thing on pole. But it is but you just said it right there. And that's two different driving styles between me and you. Is certain tracks will favor certain drivers, and you know, in a track like what you just said, you can't figure it out. And you know, I'm not gonna say I could figure it out either. I haven't run this track, so I really don't know. It would take me a while to get back into the group, but it would fit probably my driving style as a lot more conservative when it comes to driving. And I could see that by last night, the tires and all. But with that said, if there is a time to where you're going to have to be aggressive and go.
Absolutely, and we're gonna see who can hit the best lap on their first laps here.
With Meglin right now on the top. Good field so far. I never was a very good qualifier. Wasn't a good qualifier person.
I'm not a good hot lapper either. Right now, Jason Hand on the top of the point with a 30.607. Maybe a little bit wide exit. He's going to give up on lap number 2. Not going to take it. Okay, he'll settle for a 30.607. Looking at practice times, that is better than what he ran in practice.
10th faster than Chapman.
Yeah, Andy had to put him in practice. It's a Hand. He's definitely got the short run, hot lap qualifying figured out.
I hear that guy's last name reminds me of the RoboCop movie.
I don't know what the RoboCop movie is, Joe.
Never watched RoboCop?
Oh.
You're kicking him out the boot, folks.
Yeah.
Man. Hey,
Hey, Shannon, are you out there?
Never watch RoboCop. Are you serious?
He's gonna replace me with Brandon.
Really, man? Come on. Oh, what y'all got me working with up here? 2-year-old? Man, they ain't never watched RoboCop. Oh, my Lord. There's your school homework, man. Go watch RoboCop.
You can share your screen and I can watch it.
One part there when they shoot the guy in the hand. They said, I'm getting the man a hand.
Joe's mean.
I'm telling you, it's in the movie. I mean, I ain't do it.
I know.
Jason Hand still holding on to it. Meglin, though, man, up in second. Might get enough to knock him off the top spot, though.
Yeah, both of those drivers are only 2 in the 6, and unless so one of the 2 that haven't qualified yet, Corey Hertzer or Jim Bowie can knock him off, and Jim Bowie, he has already clicked the ready to race. We'll see if Corey can get it done. No time on the first. Oh, never mind. He's going for his first lap here. Gonna say. Definitely gonna see if we can put something out there to put him up on the front row. Still up for grabs.
Eglin going to be second hand out front. Chapman hanging on third. Mateo been fourth.
This looks promising. 31-0-31.
Now, promising enough right now.
Turn 2, he'll push up maybe too much. Unlikely he improves here on second lap. Yeah, he makes a mistake down there in turn 3. Had the car a little bit loose coming out of turn 4. And no improvement. So that will do it for qualifying. So we got 5 seconds left. I mean,
Here we go.
Oh,
Grid them up here. Our catalytic recoveries starting to line up. Man out front, Jason Hand was Meglin in second. Zachary Chapman there in third. Dale fourth, and Clarence starting in fifth. Look to the rest of this field. Solid field, and Bowie's going to be the man. Winning a spot. Good looking paint jobs out there too. I know Ishkin and is likes to pull for Jason Hand.
okay. Do you like the pull for Jason Hand?
I will pull for whoever finishes first.
Watching Lewis last week at the road course, got some high hopes for him this season.
All right.
Of course, next week we go to another road course in the streets of Chicago.
Terrible.
You be nice, man. Positivity.
Hey, I'm gonna be about positive to it. Why in the world NASCAR even want to go to that track?
I don't know. They had a perfectly good oval in Chicago, near Chicago.
I mean, NASCAR cars do not fit on a street.
Do they belong on a roval?
The only two road courses they should have stayed with was Noma and Watkins.
Come on, man. Road America wasn't that bad.
Bad they ain't running there no more.
Well, they replaced it with Chicago. See the Team
Damn.
Watson Racing setup car out at the front.
Yeah.
TWRS.
That's what it stands for?
That's what TWRS stands for, yeah. Team Watson Racing setup.
You know that? I mean, I'm serious.
Huh?
There's nowhere on this car that it says that.
It says it on the back.
You can read the back. Get on the back here. There it says Team Watson Racing Center. Had to get on the hood of Chapman. It's like that one with your fat girl was saying on the back. Fat shaming people.
Come on, man.
Oh.
I'm not associated with Joe White if we get canceled.
He's the one got it on his car. I mean really? Pace car's in. We're going to Mission 22 restart zone. Getting set to go racing here. Lucy Olsen green flag and a little checkup at the back of the 25 machine there. He didn't get going. He missed a gear.
Yeah, almost caused a wreck. That was 04. They got shuffled way back as well. Lost 6 spots
Simmons,
before we get down turn 1.
Dwayne Simmons won it. just didn't get going.
Yeah, and that caused the 04 to not get going as well. I mean, a little bit of wrong gear, maybe third gear start.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it's going to take about a lap or so to get that thing wound up. Nothing you can do about it once you start off in third. Not a lot you can do about it. Hope it gets wound up real quick. It's going to cost him. It's pretty tight, way up into the wall. Lose a lot, man. Fall way far back. Get that thing under control. Battle around about 5th place spot here, though. One thing about this place here, too, I saw last night, trucks, is pretty wide. You know, it won't work. It don't work. Yellow flag.
Oh, we got a big wreck at the back.
Team Watson caution. See with the Malcolm Mills replay. Colin Johnson went off the track here. Thompson was involved in it too. Car in front of them, slid, came up the track, boom. Crashing.
That was Steven Bixler that initially spun.
Caution. Not early. What we got on this restart here? Anything interesting on that last start?
Not really.
Paying attention.
I just didn't see anything that stood out to me other than a couple of cars maybe not being in the right gear. Or just not going on or spinning their tires, which could be a possibility here.
Absolutely. You definitely don't want to spin your tires. Don't want to start off in the wrong gear because it's going to take a little bit to get wound up if you do. Yeah, Jason Hand's been out front controlling this one, though. Right there, Lewis Meglin with him. Ain't heard from Craig out there.
He's on his boat, man.
Oh.
Out fishing.
Bass fishing.
And moose hunting. Moose hunting. Baby elk, too. Seen all sorts of wild animals out there, didn't he?
Yeah. Baby animals.
What?
Did baby animals.
No, I didn't. Come on, man. I don't know why the closed captions had that.
What you talking about that closed caption? Man, we got a production crew, man, going on here. The closed caption. Man in the back's getting fired. Oh, get set, go back green here. Lights off on the pace car tonight. Hometown heroes. We had the 305, 360, and the 410 wing sprints. Now we got the Xfinity cars out here doing their thing on the asphalt. Good night here. A lot of fun we have here in the Hometown Heroes Coast to Coast Racing Network. Check out all the action, all the updated information on C2CRL.com. Get you up to date on all the races and all the tracks. If you're looking to join the league, up with some of those guys. If we can get Roger off his boat long enough to get back with you, send him a message. Pace car is going to duck off on pit road. Mission 22 restart zone. That Steve King pace car that just dropped off. 22 restart. Lucy Olsen, green flag. Guys look like they might have a little wheel spinning problem.
Yeah, with how rough this surface is, it chews up the tires a little bit more than elsewhere, and being concrete, and what is the track temperature right now? 103 degrees. Not quite as hot, but it's still pretty warm.
103 is pretty hot.
It is pretty hot.
Asphalt, that is. You know, now I'm going to bring some scientific thing into you, because you would think being hot, it's a slick. Actually, it's the opposite. Hot, these things can get tight real quick. And that always confused me as a racer trying to figure something out. And they said when it gets hot on the track surface, it can get tight real quick. When it's cold, it can get slick. And I'm like, what? That worked. That's why I'm not an engineer major. But now, I would always say this. When I did setups, when I set up my car for a road race, I would always set it up for hot temperatures. Because after a while, I would think it would get slick. And I wanted the worst conditions I possibly could. Because if I could make that car stick and turn and glue on the worst conditions, then that means on the best conditions, that setup is going to perform phenomenal. There's your little trick for setting up setups.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't have to change much, if really anything. If, let's say, you were setting these cars up, or any car for a matter, for, let's say, 100 degree, like you said, 110 degree track temp, and then all of a sudden, race day, the track temp was 80 degrees. Well, guess what? Your setup is going to be even better, because it's going to be glued. Because you're already at the worst possible, set it up the worst possible to make it stick. And then now it's going to, you might have to loosen it up a little bit.
Loose a little blink.
I see it a little bit, but you might have to loosen it up just a little bit on the better conditions to get it to maybe, be a little more slick. But other than that, you're dead. So Meglin right now, they don't have to worry about this because these all big setups out here. Not anything you can do with the setups, but still, even with this track temp like it is, the one thing they got to worry about is throttle control right now.
And look at this. The tires are definitely wearing down. You're seeing who can save the tires the best. He's able to have a long run. Dan McLaren getting around Connor Ross. Connor Ross going to look on the apron.
Don't get slick coming off that turn. That's real easy to do. Put too much throttle into it, too much wheel input. That thing will kick right out from under you. Especially on a track right here. We'll ride along here with Connor Ross. Tell you what I'm talking about. He's going into the turn. He's a little bit lower than what he should have going in that turn. Not quite diamonding out. But right here is where he should let that car just start kind of glide up the track. Fighting with it just a little bit. Now, towards this right here, you can go low, you can go high, but you want to be back to this top side. Look pretty good going into 1 and 2 right here. Put too much wheel input, start letting her glide up the track, go all the way to that wall. Looks smooth right there, but you can already see that thing gets slick. A lot better than 3 and 4 that time. Going into it, now he needs to let that thing start gliding. Don't put too much wheel input in it. It looked a lot beautiful coming off turn 4 that time. And again, you can go all the way down the apron here. It's not going to hurt you, but make sure you want to set up. You don't want to go straight into this turn. I think he went just a little bit too straight in turn 1. He's going to put some wheel input. And on his outside, so that didn't help either. But you don't want to go too straight into the turn like that. Decent hand, because our leader's losing a lot of spots.
Yeah, he's gotten forced up to the high side, maybe burning off those right side tires, making the car push, burning the right front off.
Easy to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. The corners are a little bit, they ain't tight, but it feels like it'd be a tight corner on a different track.
It will, and it can get tight going in very easily when you go into the turn, like what you just said. And it can, you want to let it kind of glide out of the turn, let it just kind of do its own thing. Texas is the same way coming out. Charlotte turn 4 is the same way coming out. You just want to let that thing kind of glide coming out. You want to try to force the wheel, turn it. You're not trying to really turn a lot going into the turns. You don't want to really go into these things too straight. I mean, diamonding them just a little bit and going kind of down there in the low, almost like what y'all would reference to as a slider line. Kind of going in a little bit high, coming down in low, and letting it come out high. So, kind of how you want. I mean, kind of let the car do its own thing through the turn. It's going to feel slow to you, though. That's the main thing about the driver. And I think a lot of drivers have to. That's where they mess up, because they think they're not doing anything, or it feels slow to them going into the turn and out of the turn. But it's actually the fast way around the track, even though it might feel slow. You understand what I'm saying when I'm saying that way as a driver? It just feels like, man, I'm not putting hardly any wheel input. I'm letting the car kind of glide on its own. I'm not doing a lot of braking. Just kind of letting off the throttle, easy back on the throttle, letting it coast up to the turn, up to the wall coming off. And it just feels, the motion feels slow. And to a driver, sometimes you want to feel like you want to do more. And when you start doing more, that's when you start hurting those tires like you were talking about. Battle back in around 10th place spot, though.
Yeah, you have Butch Baker trying to hold off Jeremy Tate and Jeffrey Kemper.
Kemper, Tate, Parker, Schatzer. I know a lot of people think about, you know a lot about how these cars and how they react and all. Why can't you jump behind the wheel and drive it? But knowing a lot about what a car does and then getting out there and executing it is two different things. And Corey, you know that. You drive. I can sit up here and tell you what needs to be done, but executing that on the track is a hard thing to do. And it is. It's just a tough thing to do.
Absolutely. We're 21 laps into this thing. Dan McLaren has been catching up to Lewis here, running a little bit quicker times.
The 8/10. I talk about times a lot. You hear me talk about that a lot there, Corey. And what it takes to pass somebody. You got to have tenths to pass people. 8/10 is going to get him to that bumper of Meglin. But at this track we saw last night, Eddie Moose held him off with almost 15 lap older tires, the man in second, because one, he was taking the line away that the guy in second place needed. Right now, if Meglin can keep that, and he's just not going to right here, never mind, McLaren's going to dive her down on the inside. But if McLaren was able to keep him behind him, which is way early in the race, no need to fight this. But if this was the last lap, then yes, you try to stay into that lane. And that's what happened last night. On a track like this, it's different to take a different lane. You would have to be way, way faster than a guy to take a different lane here. And just don't think 8/10, which that last time around was way more than that. So, but 8/10 would not have been enough to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you need tenths in today's world of racing in order to make up a spot. You see Dan McLaren, he's still running 2 tenths quicker than Lewis after he got out front. So that just tells us that Dan is better on the longer run. And you know what, Joe? I was doing some calculation there earlier. Maybe a 37 lap run that you can do here. That splitting the whole race in half.
Okay. All right. Tires will be more important, I think, than fuel. Obviously, they're going to have fuel no matter what. Track like this, I know, I've referenced it to Kentucky. Kentucky, when you get to round about that 25 lap mark, you're screaming for tires. 30 laps, you're really screaming for tires. the truck, car, whatever, it's starting to get real slick. You got to really be edgy on the throttle. If not, you'll have that thing, kicking sideways on you real easy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta balance between pushing the car too hard and saving your tires, especially around here. Field is pretty well spread out right now. You're gonna see a couple drivers maybe make it up through positions or at least gain time on other drivers to where they've been saving.
And this is the time where you'll start seeing guys actually who are better on the long runs, better, like you said, so we've got a couple of, looks like Gilbert's coming on pit road, but you'll start seeing guys who are better on those long runs, maybe start coming through the field. They're not really going to just come flying through the field, but they might pick a guy off one by one. You're not going to really see, I think, anybody blast through the field unless we get maybe 2 different pit stop cycles happen. Or let's say guy back in 15ths, 20 lap difference on tires or something. Then you might see him making up time through the field. But if everybody's staying on a pretty close pit cycle, you're not really going to see much of coming through. You'll see some guys maybe picking them off one by one, getting a couple cars here and there, and so forth and so on. But this is one of these tracks, once it gets kind of spread out, once you get going, really a really tough place to pass. And like you with McLaren, I mean, he's got a good lead, and for Meglin to make that up, really, I think the only thing Meglin can do at this point is if he just had newer tires.
Yeah, and with pit stops, they should be coming up here in about another 7 or so laps. They can probably go about 40, I'd say somewhere between 35 to 40 that you'll see drivers come down.
Got Mateo back here in third. He is running about the same, maybe a little bit off. He's running a little faster than Meglin. Meglin's got to deal with this lap car here. But just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, just how long it's going to take Mateo just to make up this, he's 1.3 seconds back from Meglin. To make that up would take a lot of laps, even though he's faster. Just not quite fast enough. That last time, Meglin, he's 4/10 faster. Remember, Meglin had to run through that lap car. Take us to it the next time. But still, it's a 1.3 second difference between Mateo and Meglin.
Yeah, Mateo just needs to try to make up as much ground as he possibly can here before we see pit stops. And there goes Meglin already coming down. He'll tick over to lap 32 before he gets into his box. So I'm not sure. I might have pushed it another lap at least to be safe. I'm sure he knows more than we do. And he will make it into the box nice and cleanly. Put it up on the right side first. Put some new Goodyears on that car. Crew will make their way around to the left side. And drop them down, and here they go. Here he goes.
But, definitely going to want 4 tires and fuel. Unless you're taking a chance on the end here, maybe on the green-white checkered, something like that, then you might be able to get something going.
Yeah, I mean, with him falling off as much as he did to Dan McLaren, that might be a good strategy to short pit here. I'm not sure if I would have done it on that particular lap, but definitely you want to pit maybe a lap prior to Dan.
Right. Been a solid night here tonight for the hometown heroes. Week 2 here of the Summer Series. Guys out here doing a good job in a 305, 360, 410 wing sprints. Now we got the Xfinity cars. A few pit stops underway here, Nashville Speedway here tonight. I've enjoyed it. Corey, were you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Sound exciting.
No, I'm excited, Joe. And here we go, Dan McLaren electing to come down pit road. John Mateo, Zachary Chapman. Oh, they stretched that braking zone as far as they possibly could. That might help
hurt him
them.
more than help him, man.
I'm not sure. We're going to find out what their entire pit lap time is. Compared to Dan. Dan's moving to his box.
Oh, you don't see that often. Oh, you definitely don't see that often on iRacing. Wow. What? Chapman got into the car. Usually you go right through him, but what we need to see more of, man. Guys being more cautious on pit road instead of trying to run through a guy.
Yeah, that was Cooper Smith getting turned around by Zachary.
Well, Mateo and a total 49-47 to McLaren's 45-32. So, yeah.
Yeah.
He got hurt. Gavin didn't lose a lot of time by even getting into that car.
No, he about had as good of a time as Dan McLaren. Maybe some damage on that number 72, though. Yeah, it's hurt a little bit on that left front.
Oh, yeah. Get the hammers out and start beating on that thing. Meglin had a 46.68. So we saw back there Mateo did lose a lot of time coming on pit road.
Yeah, so Dan McLaren, all intents and purposes with how late in the run he was able to go before pitting 4 laps better than Lewis. I'd say he's going to catch up before too long, especially considering he's a long run driver.
1.8 seconds back. Got to see. We'll see what it takes and how long it takes for him to
4/10 better that lap.
Run him down. And they're going to have to go through some lap traffic. Everything that Meglin goes through, McLaren's going to have to go through. As I say that, the top 2 guys are going on pit road.
Bixler has stayed out back. Oh, we got a caution. Okay.
Oh, Tim Watson
Butch
caution.
Baker.
Michael Mills replay, so what happened to him? 3 wide, that shouldn't have happened. Oh, and Butch paid the price.
Yeah, Kemper, maybe he got in there a little bit too hot and door.
Yeah, and that's the thing I'm saying. Situational awareness, you really got to be aware of going in. I know you got newer tires that can make it stick. It's all right there. Kemper just drove it in and thing got a little tight, went up the track and got in the right rear. Boom. Little love tap. At 41. If you're in the back, never mind. I was about to say, if you're in the back, you might as well come in the pits, and it looks like a lot of them did.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're Dan, you might, Dan staying out. I might have, if I were Lewis, I would have came in.
Well,
4
I saw
laps. I mean, track position, but, I mean, I don't know. That would have been a hard call to make.
It would. I did see last night the guy that came in. I thought at first when he came in, it might have been gave up a lot, but with maybe 1 or 2 cautions, he was able to get back up to the field with those newer tires. And unfortunately, when he got up front, then he got in somebody wrecked. But he did make it through the field. And so it's possible to do it as long as you can stay clean. But again, the tire wear fall off here, it is quick. So you've got to look at, do I push the issue and come through the field because I'm going to burn the tires up doing it? Or do I take the track position and stay out like what, we're talking here, what we see in a lot of guys? Yes, you're going to make some positions up in the back. At some point, you're kind of just going to stall, level out.
Yeah, I mean, I like the track position, but I'm not sure if I like the tire difference. I know it's only 4 laps, but 4 laps around here could be a huge difference. Now, somebody that we might keep an eye on, Daniel Blau, and 4 laps better than Dan McLaren, who has the second best of your top 3. Isaac Salas came back on 33. He's 2 laps better off than Lewis. I don't know. If anybody up at the front here, I'd say Daniel Blau, if he can hold his own, that might be the winning move of the lap 39 tires.
Could be. And we've seen a lot of guys, and we still got a lot of laps left. If it was maybe 10 laps to go, Eglin and him up front, I'd say would awesome move on their end. Because we've talked about this a couple times. If you're going to stay out, make sure you have several other cars behind you. Stay out too. Definitely don't want to stay out and then the third place car be the guy on new tires. That's not helping your pace out any. But I mean, like right now, Meglin, the nearest guy is 9th place back. This was even 20 laps to go. Yeah, I'd feel okay because they're going to have to burn their tires up coming through the field. What he's doing? Eglin doing?
What is he doing?
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
I don't know what's going on. It's shoving all the... Huh? Okay, iRacing.
Racing done gone crazy.
I know Ish Cannon's down there playing admin right now. Maybe he could hop up here in the booth and give us some insight if we have another caution.
Pace car still out there?
Pace car is still on the track, and Eglin's catching up. I'm not sure what occurred. It waved everybody around the pace car. Now it's okay. Now it's having a couple of them stop here on the track.
Oh.
I'm not 100% sure.
Wow. And we're not sure here, folks. You know that 25 car is not supposed to be out there. This is the old way of racing. Remember all the lead lap cars on the inside and lap cars on the outside?
I'm not sure what we're going to do with the...
Yeah, we're going to do that 25 up there. He's just like...
Okay, so... Never mind.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to go green yet. Well,
I mean... We're on why that...
I don't think iRacing knows what's going on.
Yeah, iRacing done fell asleep tonight. All right,
There's
we're
the
calling a
base
race.
car right there.
Megalyn wins. Megalyn wins. Advance the session. Megalyn wins. McLaren second. Sellis third.
I mean, this could either be a saving grace for Megalyn in terms that he won't have as many laps to run, but it might hurt like Blau or.
They're gonna be about what 20-some laps to go. So.
Still a little under 30. Still having the 25 behind the pace car.
Probably need to give at 25 a black flag or wave around. Probably wave him.
They either need to give him a wave around here, or they need to push him all the way to the back and then just clear everybody's black flag if they get one.
Who is that? 25's in them.
Dwayne Simons.
Well, it's showing him on the lead lap on the tail end, so why not just wave him around? I mean, the admin could wave him around.
Ish Cannon just wave him around here.
Yeah,
he's on the lead
could
lap.
just wave him around because I don't know how in the world he would have got caught. Yeah, there you go. Well, you could just wave him around. I don't know how he would have got caught like he did, but yeah, that's the fastest way to deal is just wave him around, let him go.
Or else they're gonna give Tim Chapman a wave around, I guess. Alright, I think we're gonna have it all sorted out here, maybe.
Crazy event here. There we go. Crazy.
They still haven't doubled them up yet. I'm not sure when we're gonna double them up. But once Lewis out front, but it's having everybody line up single file. I guess Dan's gonna be the only one side by side. Oh boy, iRacing, what has gone on here in Nashville? You know how they say whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I think it's the same fact here for Nashville. Because we ain't even
Pace cars in. We're going back green this time. Mission 22 restart. If the Lucy Olsen green flag flies on this one, it does. We're back racing.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the top three, they're going to get a huge launch out front. Your fourth place driver, actually, I'm not even sure. Fourth place, Daniel Blau, he's so far back. So it's pretty much going to be battle for your top spot. Dan McLaren on the inside of Lewis down the back straightaway into turn 3. He'll take that spot away from him. Isaac Salas in the Busch Light car right behind these two drivers. Remember, Salas has 2 laps better tires than Lewis does. And then you got to go clear back there. Daniel Blau almost 2 seconds back off of Salas.
Yeah, he's back on 4th. Cats are hanging on there to 5th. 8th. Then you go back here, you got some double up going around 7th, 8th place spot. I was talking about those guys back out here with the newer tires. You see, they're not making up that much ground.
Well, I mean, it didn't help with the way they had them lined up, too.
They're not making up that much ground.
No, I mean, yeah, with newer tires, I mean, you would have figured
you are going to make up. Yeah, obviously, you're going to be faster. It's just the amount of cars in front of you. I mean, he's got 7 cars that he's got to get there too. Now, as the run goes on, if he doesn't burn those tires up trying to pass these guys, he should be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
That tire fall off happens so quick here.
I mean, you know, Jason Hand, the one with lap 40 on the last pit stop, he just isn't making up ground like he needs to. He needs to get around Peter Thompson, then he has to work his way around Jeremy Tate.
With new tires, he's not. His lap times are about the same as the top guys, so
yeah.
Not quite sure. Comes outside, but not quite sure what's going on with him there, but McLaren up front. I mean, he's running a 95 on his last time in hand, ran a 22, so not sure. Even with the newer tires, just not translating speed on the track. He's struggling.
Yeah, even Daniel Blau with the 4-lap and 8-lap newer tires to your top two. He is not even in the zip code with them. Running in 31.
Not sure what's going on there. I mean, the guys have just not been able to figure the track out. Like what you said earlier. Maybe you said you're not able to figure out how it is. It might be the thing, even with the new tires and that advantage that they got. Still can't maybe figure out how to get around this place. Some tracks, even though you might have that like you said, a little bit of advantage, still you've got to know how to get around the track. Theo looking pretty good there in 8th. Chapman back there in 9th. And it's just falling off the pace.
And Daniel Blau as well is falling off pace to your front too. He's kind of slowly catching up to Isaac Souse in 3rd. Still a little bit of time to get up there, 20 laps.
It's only about 7/10 off, so about 3/4 of a second. He is gaining. Brought it down to about 6/10. He's got time to get to that 3rd place, like you said, Salas.
Yeah, he's gonna need a caution though if he wants to battle with Lewis or Dan.
Oh yeah, he's good. Doing almost 3 seconds back, 4 seconds, 3.5 back from Dan. So probably get a good podium out of here. We're not done yet. Going a little further on back here.
Gaggle cars around 9th and right behind Zachary Chapman.
Connor Ross right there. Cullen Johnson. Johnson back. Johnson in the Corgi car.
He was in a late model.
Corgi car now.
I don't know. He needs to at least put a little Corgi on the car that he's running right now.
I know he's got a new sponsor out there, but at least maybe like put a dog on it.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Could put a dog on it.
Ross making a pass there in front of him. Johnson's got a good front row seat to that battle happening.
Ross doesn't have a number on that car.
No.
Huh.
Numberless.
It's got the pesky penguin on the left rear quarter.
Maybe it's like ghosted or something. And meanwhile, though, Meglin's man out front, McLaren there in 2nd. Della's still hanging on the 3rd, but Blau is closing in fast.
Yeah, maybe in this longer run, Blau has the advantage on your front two. Definitely has the advantage on the Salas. Let's go Ducks. I think that's the Oregon Ducks he has on that car.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Northwest, yeah. Green and yellow helmet. I don't know if you can look at their helmet they have set.
A big O on the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to run down old Celis, and I think he's going to get there. And McLaren passed Meglin. Meglin now was able to make that pass. I think McLaren burned those tires up. Talked about using them up, getting out front.
I'm not sure if he used them up or if he was saving them, but remember he was able to get by Meglin real late into the run on the first run we had. So he's just trying to maybe bide his time right now, and he's got a good bit of laps to go.
Dallas, man, up in the wall.
Oh my.
lost that spot to Blau, so we'll see what happens up here as the leaders. McLaren's there, and this is the kind of race it was last night with the trucks. Meglin, at this point now, needs to take away that line that McLaren needs. Whether he has better tires, whether he has a better whatever, make McLaren pass you on the outside. Do not give him that inside. Right now, you can see it. And the longer this run goes, McLaren's going to need that preferred line because his tires are going to wear too. Even though he has better ones, they're definitely going to wear.
Look at this power move on the outside.
Yeah, that's what I just said right there. Well, Maitland's coming up pit road. What?
He has enough fuel, so not. Okay.
Why?
Huh?
Okay, well then that would bring a question up.
They can
I don't get that.
Go 37 laps
There's
on
no
field.
way I would have gave up. I mean, there is, 12 to go.
I mean, I know he came in on 31, but if my calculations are correct, it shows he can go 45 laps, and with that one caution, he should have been able to make it. Even if he didn't, I would have stretched it all the way to the end there. I mean, but okay, I mean, if McLaren runs out of gas, this puts Blau in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, because we got to watch Sellis, and then we're going to watch McLaren. I mean, the good thing is McLaren could save a little bit. The problem is Blau's coming.
If anybody's in trouble, it's going to be Salas in the top three. I mean, McLaren, he might be able to stretch it. Definitely Blau with 4 extra laps. So
Blau right now don't look like he's saving anything.
I don't think he needs to. And he understands it. He doesn't have to save any fuel. And
Understands it's a sound.
he understands he wants to get the win here at Nashville Super Speedway.
That's right.
He wants to put that
Don't
Oregon
use
duck
up all your
there.
tires doing it. I know, and it doesn't take much. It's like, man, I got a fast car and catch him. It's real easy to burn up the tires.
It's tempting.
Hand on pit road.
For real.
Oh.
And he came in on 40 the last time.
Hey, I'm confused.
I mean, obviously Dan made it 35, so there's no reason. And
Salas is on pit road. No, we talked about him.
Are we sure if Freddie has enough? There's no way. I mean, McLaren made
That's
it 35.
What I'm thinking, man. I'm
and
with you.
Blau made it 39.
Why
I mean,
are these guys pitting? I'm with you, man, Corey. Why are these guys pitting?
come on, there's going to be like 5 laps to go here soon.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to say, look, I mean, if I'm a lap short, save it, try to save it somewhere. Might not be the winning move of the race, but if you pit it now, you're not hard back in traffic.
Now, if any of these drivers that pitted back on 40, which Hand was one of them, they all come in, I give
The only
up.
one I'm looking at is McLaren right now. I mean, I think Blau's got enough, but McLaren would be the only little one in that top. Been in lap 35, but if I'm McLaren, you're not coming in. There's no way. I'm running this thing out of gas if I got to. Or I'm going to save enough, and then Blau's just going to go by me, and I'll just have to finish in second. You know, I might not win the race, but, I mean, because if McLaren pits, you know this. Right now, 11 spots, best he can get?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
he'll go a lap down, so.
I mean, let's say McLaren could push it 39 laps from that lap 35. You added on that caution that we extended. He should have enough to at least salvage a second, even if he has to give up the spot here. But
I thought the other guys had enough.
I figured out. I might have thought Meglin might not have had enough, but definitely everybody else should have had enough.
McLaren right now went slow right there. He might not.
He
I
might
mean,
be a lot
Blau
short.
changed. I think McLaren's saving fuel because Blau just ran up on his back bumper. Let's ride on board with McLaren and see. Watch his RPMs here. Blau ran up on him. Not like he's dipping or anything.
McLaren, he's definitely backing the corner up so you can hit the inside line, trying to force Blau to go around on the outside, and this might be it right here. Blau on the outside.
McLaren's saving fuel. McLaren is saving fuel now, and I think he realizes that it might be.
He might be one short here.
Yeah, and Blau needs to know this and keep on him. Don't let him save. Keep on him. And this is a good thing about Blau. Problem is like I said before, McLaren's taking that lane away that Blau needs. And right there you can see I think McLaren's saving fuel in the middle of the turn. Blau needs to go.
Blau, he needs to figure a way on the outside because I don't think McLaren's going to make it easy. You have the lap car coming up real quick. Blau needs to somehow get the momentum on the corner exit. Here we go down the back straightaway. Maybe a little bit of bump right there for Blau. Definitely this lap car might play factor. Oh boy, what a good race we have. We're going to see the white flag if we get out of turn number 4. That lap car going to help out McLaren a little bit. Wow, one more shot, 1.33 miles to go for Blau and McLaren. Oh, a little bump and run right there. Oh my.
McLaren, I think, is really saving a lot of fuel. Blau needs to figure out a way, and I think McLaren might be out of gas.
He is.
He is out of fuel in the last lap. Oh, man. He couldn't make it. Mateo's going to be able to catch him. Mateo goes across. I don't know if Connor Ross is going to get to him enough.
Connor Ross is going to make it by.
Wow, McLaren on the last lap tried.
Gilbert.
And Daniel Blau's going to win it. John Mateo comes in second, Connor Ross in third, but whoo, I guess calculations was off.
That was going to push Dan to the line. Oh, Dan holds on to 8th here.
Oh,
what a race.
What a race. What a wild one.
That, about a 3/4 of a track tee short.
Crazy finish to this.
Atta boy Daniel.
All right, well, let's bring up Connor Ross here. Let's get a word with him.
Hey, Connor, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, maybe you got a little bit of luck thrown in there at the end to pick up a third of the race leader running out of gas. Just talk us through this entire race.
That was the question when we wanted to pit. Zach Chapman, Jeff Kemper, and I were all talking. We realized that we could only, if we ran out that first tank mostly all the way, it was only one stop from there. And that's what we did, took tires, and I was kind of getting reckless a little bit on those tires, so at the end of that green flag run, it was really hurting me. But no, we got lucky. I wouldn't say lucky, our plan worked out. Didn't help that all those cautions were thrown just because iRacing messing up. I think we maybe even could have won that because we were sitting in a really good position. But no, it just came down to strategy, and that's what I love about asphalt racing in this league, man. It's awesome.
Absolutely. The plan worked out for you. Able to get 30. Got anybody like thank you?
Yeah, I got quite a bit of people. A Gambler, of course. That's, we're all a team down there, and they're a bunch of amazing guys, and you can lean off each other. And I got to thank Pesky Penguin, Kingpin Farms, East One Construction, Burger Barn, Petro Plus Travel Stop, Nathan Ackland Racing, I got to thank you guys for broadcasting this. You guys do an amazing job, and I can't wait to watch it back. I got to thank Coast to Coast for, another season. It's going to be another amazing season. Yeah, got to thank everyone.
There you have it, folks. That's your third place driver, Connor Ross.
Absolutely. Let's bring this guy up here, second place man here, old Mateo.
Hey, John, you get a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, maybe a little bit of crazy action there towards the end that put yourself in the second place. Just talk us through that race there.
Yeah, that race, that was a fun track. I like this track. It really did just come down to fuel strategy. I think we got lucky with a few of the yellows. I know that last yellow where I dipped in just to get a splash, figured that would be it. And I think what really helped was that little bit of mess with iRacing not lining everybody up properly, and I was trying to figure that out. Really helped. And Dan running out of fuel helped us get second. But I was content with third.
Absolutely. Well, the luck paid out for you. You got second place. You got anybody you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Coast to Coast for putting on the league. You guys for broadcasting as always. Outlaw Wraps for the awesome paint scheme. Team Awesome Racing Setups being the team sponsor release here, and then for the next gens. Just everybody watching too.
There you have it, folks. That's your second place driver, John Mateo.
That looked good with this guy up here, man. Pulled it off here. Daniel, Joy in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Joe?
Well, you was able to pull this thing off here. Did you have any indication that he might be running out of fuel?
Yeah, I figured once the rest of the field started pitting that there was no way that anybody but myself was going to make it to the end. I kind of got lucky with the cautions. I pitted on the very last lap of that first caution and just took gas so I could at least get to the halfway point. And then the whole issue with the lineup there a little bit past halfway, running all those laps under caution, that definitely helped me. And when we went back to green, I was good by about 4 laps, so I didn't have to save. I was pretty much hammered down, but had a fast car all night. I mean, even that first run, I was trying to save fuel, but I was picking up spots pretty easy.
When McLaren came around you there on that restart, was that by design of you saying, okay, we'll let him burn his stuff up, and then you came back around him? I mean, kind of just back and forth between you two. I mean, what were you trying to save at that point also?
I was behind Dan for that entire second run. I restarted fourth. Him and Lewis were swapping places up there, but like I said, I knew I was good on gas. I didn't have to really push it hard. I didn't, I figured those guys were going to be either really, really close or not able to make it at all. And so even when I got to Dan, I wasn't too concerned. I had a feeling he was going to run out.
He was able to pull it off here, man, tonight in Hometown Heroes. Got anybody you want to thank for a good win?
Yes, sir. It's a first win in a long, long time for me. I haven't been racing as much as I had in the past, but yeah, I want to thank raceprint.com, Northwest Arsenal, my team, Spartan Racing. Lance and I are about the only ones that are active racing still, but he has been helping me a ton over the last couple months. We race in another league together, and he's been helping me a ton. And then, of course, as always, my wife for letting this fat old man have some fun on the PC.
Yo, man, putting in the victory lane here tonight. Daniel Blau, again, congratulations there, Daniel.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, sir. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Well, folks, man, I tell you what, I hope you enjoyed it. It was another awesome night here for the Coast to Coast Racing League and Hometown Heroes. For myself and everyone, have a good night.